After I caught my wife cheating, she didn't apologize. She didn't cry or beg for forgiveness. No, she tilted her head, smirked like she rehearsed in front of a mirror, and offered a solution: an open marriage. "It's the only way we can grow," she said, swirling her wine like a self-help guru on a podcast. What she didn't know was that I already had a plan. One that would leave her publicly humiliated, emotionally wrecked, and utterly alone. It had been a long Thursday. One of those days where you drag yourself home, hoping for something simple, a quiet dinner, maybe a warm laugh with the person who's supposed to be your anchor. Instead, I stepped into the house and found Marissa standing at the dining table, wine glass in hand, wearing that expression only the delusional get away with: smug, unrepentant, victorious. "Hey," I said, hanging up my coat. "Everything okay?" She took a slow sip and smiled, not kindly, not even politely, but like she'd already decided I was too dumb to catch on. "We need to talk." I sat down, not because I was ready, but because I was tired of standing. She dove in. About us, about growth, about what modern relationships should look like. "I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and I think we've been limiting ourselves." Her tone was measured, almost professional. I felt my jaw tighten as she kept going. "I've been seeing someone. His name's Mike. But I didn't cheat. Not really. It's more of a spiritual expansion. Emotionally, sexually." I stayed silent, not out of shock. I'd already suspected something. Her sudden schedule changes. A second phone she thought I hadn't seen. The subtle scent of cologne that didn't belong to me. I'd been piecing it together. I already knew his name wasn't Mike. It was Travis Whitmore, a lifestyle blogger, self-proclaimed awakened alpha, married with 2 kids, and a smug grin that made me want to punch my screen every time I saw his videos. But I let her talk, let her think I was broken, let her believe I'd roll over, nod, and play the role of the open-minded husband she wanted me to be. What she didn't realize was that I'd already started planning. And soon, she'd learn what happens when a quiet man stops giving second chances. The morning after her little proposal, Marissa kissed me on the cheek like nothing happened, humming some tune as she left in her crisp white blazer. "Yoga class," she said. "Sure." I watched her pull out of the driveway from the upstairs window. Her phone was buzzing on the table. A message from Travis. "Morning, goddess. Same hotel tonight." I didn't flinch. I'd already cloned her phone weeks ago. Took an hour and the excuse of her meditating to install a simple app. Since then, every flirty text, every mirror selfie she snapped half-naked from our bedroom, every calendar invite to the same damn hotel had been archived in a folder on my hard drive labeled Final Strike. That's when I made the first call, to Jenna Whitmore, Travis's wife. She picked up on the second ring, her voice tight with suspicion. "Who is this?" "Someone who thinks you deserve to know the truth." I said calmly, "Your husband's sleeping with my wife, and I have proof." Silence. Then softly, "What kind of proof?" "Messages, photos, dates, hotel reservations. You name it. I'm willing to share it all if you'll help me." Jenna was sharp. She worked in PR. She knew how to tear down an image with the precision of a scalpel. We didn't want chaos. We wanted consequences. Not just revenge, but a calculated dismantling. Dignity reclaimed by dismantling the very lies they'd wrapped themselves in. We met in a quiet cafe. I showed her a few screenshots. Her expression changed from curious to glacial. "We're going to ruin them," she said, sipping her tea like she'd just accepted a mission. I nodded. I want her embarrassed. I want her exposed. I want her to feel exactly how I felt. She smiled faintly. "Then let's give them a stage they'll never forget." Marissa kept up the illusion. Date nights, social media selfies, captions like, "Love means freedom." Meanwhile, behind that polished performance, she didn't notice her bank accounts being untangled, didn't see the apartment, once under her name, being quietly refinanced under both of ours, just in time to sell from underneath her. No clue Jenna had started sending anonymous tips to Travis's sponsors about his alternative lifestyle. We weren't retaliating. We were preparing. Quietly, thoroughly, one step at a time. Then came the night that would blow it all apart. The gala. Marissa's idea, of course. A charity event to raise funds for wellness and family initiatives. Irony must have been lost on her. She was set to be recognized for her commitment to community values. She spent a week prepping like it was her coronation. Designer fittings, skincare treatments, speech rehearsals. The night arrived. She stepped out of the dressing room in a flowing crimson gown, the same color as the lipstick she wore on our first date. "What do you think?" she asked, spinning. "You look unforgettable," I replied. And she would be. The Arcadia Grand Ballroom was filled to the brim. Glass chandeliers, champagne towers, soft jazz floating under the hum of moneyed voices. I spotted Jenna across the room. No nod, no smile, just silent synchronization. Marissa took the stage, gave a speech about honesty and trust that nearly made me burst out laughing. And then the screen behind her flickered. She turned, blinking at it. The first slide, Truth Matters. Then, a screenshot. Travis, I'm still sore from last night. Marissa, I love how reckless we are when he's not around. Travis, think he suspects? Marissa, please, he's too dull to notice. The room erupted in gasps. Her hand clutched my arm like a vice. What the hell is happening? Then the next image. A photo. Hotel room. His face buried in her neck. Her wedding ring gleaming as she held him close. Final slide. This is who she really is. She screamed, "Turn it off." But no one moved. Jenna walked calmly onto stage with a clipboard. Due to unforeseen circumstances, tonight's guest of honor will be stepping down. Marissa tried to run after her. Stumbled. Her heel snapped. She felt the floor with a shriek, mascara streaking down her face. Cameras flashed. Bloggers posted. Within 15 minutes, the entire city had seen her downfall. At home, she shattered dishes and demanded answers. "Why didn't you protect me?" "I didn't need to," I said quietly. "You destroyed yourself." Tears streamed down her face. "You're going to leave me." I handed her an envelope. Already did. Inside, divorce papers. Frozen bank accounts. A legal log of every asset I'd pulled from her reach. She trembled, flipping through it. "Where will I go?" I didn't answer. Just walked out. The headlines were merciless the next morning. Corporate therapist exposed, charity gala scandal. Wellness influencer secret affair goes public. Images of her, frozen mid-scream on the ballroom floor, were everywhere. She was suspended within 48 hours. Her sponsors dropped her. Her podcast pulled. Her seminars canceled. Travis's wife filed for divorce a week later. His father pulled funding. His investors bailed. The two of them, who once whispered and laughed behind our backs, were now radioactive. Then came the begging. Texts, "Please talk to me. You've made your point. I've lost everything. Are you happy now?" I didn't respond. One night, she showed up at my door. Makeup smeared. Clothes wrinkled. Eyes hollow. She didn't knock. Just sat outside and cried softly. I didn't open it. 2 weeks later, she left a letter in my mailbox. Asterisk, I wake up every day wishing I could disappear. I've never felt this broken. You don't have to forgive me. I just want you to remember we were something once. Even if it was before I destroyed it all. I have no job, no home, no friends left. Travis left town. I can't sleep. I can't eat. If this was your plan, you won. You truly destroyed me. Asterisk. I folded the letter and stored it in a box. Not as a trophy, but as a reminder of what betrayal costs, what silence is worth, what a calm, careful plan can do when you wait for the perfect moment. My new life had no room for her. I had found peace, and peace was earned. She was left with what she gave me first, emptiness, silence, and a future she would never rebuild. A year later, I sat in a quiet coastal cafe, journaling beside a window washed in morning sun. Across from me sat Rachel, a psychologist I'd met through a post-divorce seminar. We started as strangers trading cautious stories. Now we shared slow mornings, honest conversations, and quiet healing. She looked up from her tea. "You look lighter today." I think I finally let go of the last piece. I said, "Of her?" she asked. "No," I smiled. "Of who I was when I was with her." Marissa's ending came with headlines, lawsuits, and shame. Mine? Mine was still being written. Every sunrise, every conversation, every breath taken without having to look over my shoulder. I never told Rachel everything, not because I was ashamed, but because revenge was never the final chapter. Rebuilding was.